Hi, this is stemeetsu. Welcome to our channel. Today we'll give you a brief introduction to data structure and also discuss on some basic examples of it. So, if you search what is data structure on Bing or Google, you may find something like this. A data structure is a storage that is used to store and organize data. A data structure is a specialized format for organizing, processing, retrieving, and storing data. You may get a bit confused about it or find them a bit abstract. What is actually meant by specialized format, or why do we need something like that? Let's just start by looking at this. Imagine that this rectangle is the memory of your computer, and there are some data stored in the memory. How do you feel if the data looks like this? A bit messy, right? Then how about this one? Much clearer, right? So this is basically why data structure is such an essential concept in computer science. In a word, it is data structure that makes our process of organizing, retrieving, or storing data much easier and more efficient. Alright, then let's look at some specific data structures. By the way, today we'll just focus more on the linear data structures. Maybe we'll also talk about nonlinear data structure in our next video. There are basically two types of linear data structure. The first one is static data structure and the second one is dynamic data structure. The word static means that the memory size of the data structure is fixed, while the dynamic ones means that the size of the data structure can be updated in terms of use. Let's firstly look at one static data structure called array, and this is also usually the first data structure that a programmer will learn. It's just like storing the elements in a series of grids, which means the arrays store the data in contiguous memory locations. Each location is assigned a unique index, which is called array index. And the first index is usually 0 instead of 1. The linked list, which is also a static data structure, is to some extent similar to array, but they do have a lot of differences. Firstly, in the linked list, the elements are usually not stored in contiguous locations, and it doesn't have a fixed memory size, which is quite different from the array. Let's look at this diagram, which represents a linked list, and one single object, which is represented by a rectangle in this diagram, is called a node. A node stores some specific data inside and also a pointer to the address of the next node. So you can imagine we can insert or delete an element from the linked list by changing the pointers. Then we'll look at our last two data structures today. Those are stack and queue. These two are dynamic linear data structures as well. A stack data structure is just like a pile of cards, and what you can do to the cards is just like to take away one card at the top or to add a new card to the top each time. And we call this feature LIFO, which means last in, first out. The last element we put into the stack is the first one to be taken out. But for queue, you can just imagine that you're queuing up for lunch at the dining hall. So if you're the first one to enter the queue, you'll also be the first one to enjoy your lunch. The queue data structure is just like this, and we call this feature FIFO, which means first in, first out. Alright, today we mainly covered the definition of data structure and 4 types of specific data structures. If you want more video like this, please subscribe us. Thank you for listening and wish you a good day.